Hello, true art believers. How are you doing today? This is Pierson, and welcome to tonight's live art stream. I am the number one live art streamer in the world, and you are watching 500 Days of Drawing. Today, or tonight, is day 463, and we're going to be working on this grid drawing for roughly about 30 minutes, and then after that, call it a day, man. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, Just rather late, so let's get started, shall we? Let me get some music in here. A little background. What kind of music is this? Anyways, let's begin. There you go. We're going to be working on this for about 30 minutes, and we'll be chatting it up a little bit, or maybe not. We'll see. Let's see what we got to do here. Where's my layers? Okay, we got the X's here. We got the X's here. And we got to go to the dress. There we go. Let's see if we got the right brushes here. We're going to use the paintable soft round, which is basically an airbrush. That's essentially what we're going to be using. We're going to be a soft round airbrush. Yeah, it's going to be a soft round airbrush, and so forth. Let's move this to the side here. There we go. And all right, so we got our soft round airbrush right here. And I want to do one more thing before we begin. Do the brightness cube right here. And reduce this. Okay, I'm ready to go. Zooming in here. And we're just going to do this area. Try to get it done and then move down to the next line. And I think that'll be a good day. That'll be a good halfway point. I'm just gonna do a color test here, and just gonna kind of feather the areas out. Really simple process. Just gonna take your time. Really take your time and do it very slowly, like this. You don't want to really rush it. Here's the funny thing about this. I was researching or listening to some videos, and they were talking about like the reason why you want to do digital, when you do digital portraits, is so that you can go produce work faster. And I was like, man, I wish I knew the cheat code to that, because I've been working on this for like months, just doing this small area. Now, in reality, if I were to sit down and work on this, I could have gotten this whole grid area done in one night if I had infinite access to time. But I usually don't. I don't have infinite access to time. I was listening to a podcast called Daily Refinement. They talk about eBay sales and stuff, and they stress this very poignant thing, a very important idea, which is no one ever really has 12 to 16 hours of uninterrupted time, where they can just work continuously on their craft. Me, at tops, I have 2 hours of uninterrupted time at any given time. At any given moment, I have 2 hours of time of like uninterrupted time. That's at most. So like, I usually only have about an hour to 30 minutes to an hour of like of time that I can't be that I am not interrupted. So like unimpeded like moments of time to like together. So like, as I said, in theory, I could finish this whole area that I've been working on for the past couple months, in one night. But I would need the whole evening to get momentum, to get that snowball effect. Drawing can be like a snowball effect where you're working on a drawing and like you're getting that inertia, you know, and things start clicking. For me personally, I need about an hour and a half of like of intense drawing before I get into like a zone. And then after an hour and a half, I have about 2 hours of intense focus. And then after that 2 hours, I kind of get like, I start to dwindle. Like my mental ability to process drawing information starts to dwindle. It really starts to backtrack. So like it takes me an hour to hour and a half to really like to build up that like visual momentum, and then after that I got a good solid 2 hours of like really highly productive drawing. And then after those 2 hours, I get tired. I just get really, really tired. And there's some science backed behind that you'll have like artists that will claim that they can paint all day, or work all day. But, I think they're lying to themselves, because there is a lot of science behind this, where you can work on something all day, but like the most amount of work is done within the first 4 hours. And then after that, it's just like you're being busy. You're just filling up the time. And so it's really weird how that is. So like all the work is done within the first 4 hours, and after that you're just kind of like procrastinating, or you're wasting time. So like when someone says that they worked all day, there's very few people that are highly productive, like highly productive all day. Like your best hours are the first 4 hours, essentially. Not necessarily of the day, but for a lot of people, the first 4 hours of the day is the most productive time. But like your first 4 hours of when you start doing like intense deep work is where you get the most output. Because it's like a sport. It's like working out. You can't work out all day. You're not going to get the returns aren't there. Like you can't bench 315 pounds and rep it forever and ever and ever. You get fatigued. And just like with your muscles getting fatigued, right? They get fatigued through like lifting and straining and putting a taxing load on the muscle. Just like when you're doing a mentally intensive project, you fatigue your brain. It gets tired. It gets less adaptable. It gets less effective at solving problems. In drawing and art, a lot of drawing and art you are essentially doing math problems. You're trying to solve something. You're trying to you're trying to come up with a visual solution. You're trying to do something visually, and that visual media is a visual math problem. You're creating a math problem, and you're thinking, you're processing information, and you're trying to apply or create a representation of what you see. Now, it doesn't have to be real, you know, but you're applying some sort of translation of reality. But people tend to think that just because they're doing an activity all day means that they're working hard all day, and that's not possible. Like, I think people actually, that's okay. There might be outliers, right? But it's like this. I was looking at this. I saw this video on YouTube. I want to watch it. I haven't yet to watch it because I'm pretty sure it's going to make me upset because I want to do it, but I don't have the time to do it. There's this video, like this person did a video about how they did 100 heads in 10 days. You know, basically 10 drawings of heads every day, 10 heads a day. And imagine if that person did 100 heads in one day and they just sat down. So like maybe the first hour they were able to do 10 heads, really well drawn heads, or maybe that first hour they were able to do 5 heads. Then maybe the second hour they were able to do 6 heads, and then maybe the third hour they're able to do 7 or 8 heads. After that third hour, you know, they start their energy, their mental energy starts to dwindle. You know, they start getting a little bit more fatigued. Maybe they're hungry, and then maybe the fourth hour they're doing 4 heads, and then after that, maybe for the rest of the time they're just doing 4 heads, and then maybe 4 hours after that they're doing 3 heads, and then it's to get slower and slower. They're not going to maintain that pace of 5 to 7 heads unless they start like making the heads more simplified, simpler, less defined, you know, start taking shortcuts. So that pace is going to, you know, slow down. It's like marathon runners. They're not, the people that do those long marathons don't front run the entire time. Like, that pace is not sustainable. Some people can't, like, very few like of those runners will win marathons or win marathons being in first place the entire time. You know, they'll probably be in the first, like, I don't know anything about marathons, but I'm assuming they're in the top 10 to 20 for the majority of the top placing of 10 to 20 in the first, for the, if they have a chance of winning, placing first. You know, they're not sprinting the entire time. They're running really fast, those high caliber ones, but they're not going 100% the entire time. It's like, it'd be stupid because they'd gas out all their energy. They'd burn up all their energy the entire time. It's like that's the same with drawing, man. If you do that, you know, if you are throttling so high in your drawing, if you're doing that in your drawing, you're gonna lose momentum. But as I said, when artists say that they've been in the studio all day for 10 hours, they didn't work for 10 hours, or if they worked for 10 hours, they certainly weren't as productive their first 5, 4 to 5 hours. You know, it's not like they were making more artwork later on in the day. They probably made the brunt of the most progress the first 4 hours of their studio session, and then after that they slowed down drastically, and they still made progress, but they probably would have been better suited just to kind of stop and come back to it the next day and work another 4 hours on it, because they only made, let's say they made 80% of the progress the first 4 hours, and then the last 4 hours at the studio they made 20% more progress. That's a waste of time. They could probably just come back the next day and catch up within the first 4 hours and be ahead, you know. So that's just my 2 cents with regards to like just doing artwork in general, like deep work. But I saw this person do these art challenges, and I was like, man, I want to do that. but I don't know I don't know like where that lays with regards to my schedule. Maybe I'm done with this area, by the way. I'm gonna save it. Maybe um, that is what I'll do with my live streams in the future. Maybe in the future I just do like art challenges, like try to do 100 hands in a week, you know, 100 heads in a week, drawn out, either digitally or in pencil. You know, just like have the camera on my screen. That I might do that. I might do that. That might be something I have to do. Like I just do a bunch of art challenges on my live stream. That's probably a good idea. I might write that down. To be quite honest with you, I might write that down and make that a like a thing, you know. And yeah, so that might be a thing for me. So we're gonna go to draw some X's here. We got 16 minutes, and that's it for the day. But yeah, I think I might do that. I don't know. We'll see. I might have to. I have a lot of like. I'm kind of bouncing between things. You know, I really am. I just don't know. I don't know what to do with these live streams, and I'm trying to kind of change it up a bit. So maybe another pivot might be. I might have another pivot in store for next year, or for my next bout. I don't know. I might quit doing the live streams in to the scale that I'm doing. I have about 40 days to think about it. But I know that it's caused a lot of like arguments, and it's not good. And they're warranted. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're warranted. Maybe not. Who knows? Okay, so we're gonna delete this. And now we're gonna go ahead and do this layer. And we're gonna press Control D, which is basically deselects the image. And I think we're just gonna go ahead and shrink it back down. And then we're gonna go ahead and zoom in again. Zoom in again, that's for sure. All right, so this whole area I'm gonna work on. So this area, and then as you can see, it's not even built up. This area. And now what I want to do next is I was noticing that I had the snap. We got to remove that snap so that there's no like yeah, we're just gonna remove that snap area. Okay, so here we go. We got the dress copy. We're gonna go down to dress. And then we're gonna remove that and lock the pixels like so. And now we're gonna work here. So I'm actually quite thankful for the day, because I didn't think I was gonna make it today. I didn't think I was gonna do my live stream, because I missed yesterday. As you know, for those that watch, I missed it, and I felt bad, but I just didn't want to do it. Like, it was a long day. I went to work, and there's so much stuff, a mixture between so much stuff and just like not a lot of sleep. I don't know. It was just a lot, and I just didn't want to do it. I got home, my legs and feet were sore, you know, from standing for hours because I stood up. Like, you ever been to a job where your whole job is you stand for extended periods of time? Well, that was my job yesterday. I stood for a long time, and my legs were really sore from working out the day before, and so I it was just extra like painful. Like my legs were extra tired, exhausted. You ever feel like you ever have the that time where your feet like throb, because it has been standing on concrete. That was me, you know. And I got home and I just wanted to sit down and take a load off and like not have to worry about doing a live. And I feel bad about it, but these lives, you want when you're doing anything in your life that is of value to you, right? You don't want it to feel like a chore all the time. And some people, for some though, like for some people, like their perspective is everything's always going to be a chore. You know, it'd be different. Like if, okay, if my art was making me a living, it'd feel less like a chore and feel like more like a job, and I feel more inclined to do it because I have bills to pay. I have bills, and art is paying for those bills, right? But since that's not the case, and I do this purely out of the joy of art and the joy that it brings me, or like the satisfaction of creating something, since that's my main motivation, I don't want to spoil that feeling and have it be like, oh, I have to always be on and create work or create a live stream. I was talking to a coworker of mine, and he was saying, like, in order for you to be like really successful at it, and I do agree. For me, is I probably have to do a live stream that is my drawing live streams would have to be about 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours at least, to really get traction. Because I don't think 30 minutes is not a lot, And I agree. I wish I could give 3 hours out of my life each day to do an art stream, because don't get me wrong, I'd love to draw for 3 hours. I would love to be able to sit down for 3 hours, and I would love to be able to have that type of like drawing freedom. But I just don't in my life right now. Like, I'm not single, so I don't have that. I don't have the ability to just like upend my whole schedule, and do a live stream for 4 hours. Oh, it already takes me an hour or so to kind of just set up the live stream. And I'm not even doing a great job at that, right? I'm not even doing a great job of setting up the live stream, let alone have to do that plus have a very long live stream. I would love my live streams to be like 2 hours. I really think that'd be fun. If I had a live stream that's 2 hours, these areas would be done so fast. But anyways, I just don't have that luxury at the moment. Maybe in the future, I'm doing some things that might open up my time availability. I'd love to do it. At the very least, I'd love to get to a point where I'd be able to do like 1 or 2 long live streams a week. I was doing that with my artist interviews, and it was just getting too intense. It was getting way too intense. Like, it was hard to do. I stopped doing them because, well, I don't know. I think just artists didn't want to be in them. And also, I had a few cancellations, and I just took that as a sign to say, you know what, maybe this might mean I should stop for a little while. It was fun, I was doing some nice ones, had some really good conversations with a lot of artists, and I'd like to do more, because I think one of the reasons why I was doing them is because I wanted to provide some value to other artists, but also I wanted to kind of become better at having conversations with people. Being able to talk to other people is a skill, and I'm like, it's hard to do. I don't think it's highly undervalued. And not like talk to people as in like, hey, wait, how's that weather going, huh? oh, this weather's nice. Oh, it's so nice and warm. Oh, or like, hey, did you catch the game? Did you catch that game over there? I don't know why I'm talking like Macho Man Randy Savage. Hey, brother, did you catch that game? That's a very bad version. That's a very bad impression, but hey there, brother. When you eat, or is it more like Hulk Hogan? It's not Randy Savage. It's Hulk Hogan. Randy Savage is like, oh yeah, and then like Hulk Hogan's like says, brother, listen, brother, don't forget to eat your veggies and get your sleep and read your books and study. Yeah, I don't really talk about sports. I don't think I appreciate sports. I appreciate athletes who are athletes and do the sport because it's very physical and it's hard to do. But I think people that watch sports religiously need to focus on themselves a little bit more. I'm not against them watching a game every once in a while, but I know a lot of people that will watch all the games. You know, they'll want to watch all the games, and I'm like, dude, you invest some of that time that you watch the games in yourself, man. And who knows where you'll be, right? Or even if it doesn't pan out, that's fine. At least you've done something that will make you better as an individual, or very least more interesting of an individual. You know, watching sports is good, every once in a while. In my opinion, don't take offense to this, but if you're spending all your available free time, and I've seen a lot of people do this because I work in a bar, you know, watching other dudes excel at something, and you get very emotional about it. Like a lot of other people watch other people excel at something, you know, and they don't it's a waste of their life, you know. And I'm not saying watching sports is a waste of your time. It's like live and let live, right? You should be able to enjoy your free time. But what I'm saying is, I think a lot of Americans, a lot of people have enjoy their free time too much. Like we have too much leisure time. We have too much free time. If we work 40 hours a week, people think oh yeah, I worked real hard. No, being at a place for 40 hours is not working hard. There's actual statistics about this. I don't have it on hand, but from my understanding, people that work at a 40-hour a week, they're only really working for 15 hours of that 40 hours or something like that. They're not even working. They're at their office or at their job for 40 hours, but they're not really working for 40 hours, you know. And this goes back to where I was talking about how you're only productive, you're only able to output productivity for 4 hours a day intensely, and that's the hyper performers, the elite performers, you know, the elite people that are able to do that type of work, intense deep work. The average person doesn't do that. They don't do that type of really labor intensive deep work. And I don't even do that, you know, because I don't have four hours straight, you know. But we made some progress today. It's looking good. I'm probably a little hyper contrasty, but we made progress. We finished this line. Let's go save it and kind of look at it real quick. We made some progress. Let's remove the grids, the extras, remove the X's and the dress copy. Well, her neck's kind of janky. I think that's gonna be something I work on next, is really getting that neck kind of like, because it's like it's a little too much. Her arm needs to be addressed too. It's a little too much. I need to fix that. But it's see that's kind of cool, man. You know, I think this feels a little bit too. It feels like it's too angular. I don't think that's what the photo is really like in real life. But you know, it is what it is. I don't know if this cheek here is genuinely like this. I think I made a mistake here. I don't know if I want to fix it though. You know, and yeah, and he's got a bruise on his eye because well, the dress has that there, and I need to clean it up. There's some like areas that I have dots randomly, and I'm gonna have to clean it up later on, but not for now. So that is it. I am done for the day. I am going to do some drawing on my own after this, some actual deep work drawing for about an hour, and then I'm going to go to bed. It's going to be I'm going to go to bed after that. It's going to be a long night. I'm going to begin going to bed at almost about 2 o'clock. But as you can see, look at my my nice lava lamp. I got that going on there. I kind of like it. I like it as a little video there. I don't know why I've been putting this as my video. I just thought it was kind of cool to have a lava lamp going on as my screen, as opposed to like just have oh, nice little lava lamp right there. It's kind of cool. You don't see those anymore. Anyways, I gotta get going. I hope you enjoyed tonight's live art stream. This is Pierson, and if you have not already, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. The more the merrier. I really do appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. Thank you so much. And my next live stream, I'm going to be doing a cactus drawing. So it's going to be this Sunday, which it already is technically Sunday. So later on today, I'll be doing a cactus drawing. And then we'll start the whole week all brand new. Thank you so much again, and have a wonderful night. Cheers.